It is July, isn't it? My goodness, the year is just going by.
It is going by for sure. And
I
if you're
know.
anything like us, it is hot.
It is hot. We're here in Texas. It's the heat index is pushing 100 and something.
Ugh.
I mean, I don't know. I'm not a meteorologist, so don't hold me to that. But my app says that. But yeah, no, it's quite toasty here in Texas.
Yes, thank goodness for air conditioning. I saw this thing on Facebook. It was an ad that was talking about, the one thing you can't live without in Texas. Everybody would like, they don't have to have this, they don't have to have that, but they have to have their AC.
Gotta have the AC. Gotta have the AC.
So anyway, let's get,
so we just want to go ahead and get started. We were just
yeah.
waiting for a few people to get on.
Yeah.
So what do you got for us? Go.
Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here watching with us. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. It's right down there.
Right down there, bottom right-hand corner.
Yep. So subscribe. That way you're always what?
You're always notified whenever we post new videos or whenever we go live.
Exactly. All right. So, Corey, what are we talking about today?
Today, we're actually going to be talking about the new Tearaway Dream Big patterns. Okay. We have 3 of them in stock.
Yep.
But they are patterns that you can put on the Dream Big panels, which are still extremely popular to this day.
Yeah.
And you can quilt them out either on a long arm or on a domestic machine. So for our twist today, we're used to doing everything on a long arm because we are long arm dealers.
Yeah.
But due to popular demand,
yeah, we've had a lot of people ask us,
a lot of people.
Will you kind of show it on a domestic? And we're like, Corey, you want to try?
Sure, why not? It's just a little bit, it's a different way of thinking. Because I'm so used to moving the pencil, which is the head of the machine.
Yeah.
Now I've got to move around the paper.
Yeah.
So we're going to see how this works out. Y'all are going to get a few chuckles out of this, I'm sure.
It'll be super fun. And we also carry all the Dream Big panels, too.
Yes.
So, all right, Corey, do you want to maybe show them the 3 patterns we have and what comes with it? And
sure.
We'll go from there?
Let's do it.
Okay.
So the 3 patterns that we currently carry are the Dream Big with cardamom, which is over here on the left-hand side, and I'll bring it up a little closer so you can see what that looks like. It's feathers with some swirls. It's very elegant. The separation on the outside are all these lines, and that's going to appear on all of them. The main petals in the foreground are what are really going to be quilted on. So that's cardamom. The next one, and the one that we're going to be doing today, is Dream Big with Vivaldi. And this is just a simple, elegant feather, and then, of course, those explosion lines on the outside just to kind of separate it from the background. And then last but not least, we've got Dream Big with Aquarius. So this is some swirls, some pearls, a more modern take on the Dream Big panel. So what comes in the set, so you, of course, this is the cover page. But what comes in it is you have a diagram of what size the petals are and kind of, where you're at placing them wise.
That's cool. I like it.
I like having the diagram.
Instructions are nice.
Yeah. You have 3 tearaway sheets that go across the Dream Big panel, and they are all labeled. So it'll say top, center, or bottom, and telling you exactly when to place them.
How many sheets are there again?
There's going to be 3 of them.
Cool.
And then on the back are going to be the step-by-step instructions on what you need to do to place them and adhere them properly, this is what we're going to follow today as well, to adhere them properly to your fabric so you can go ahead and start quilting it.
Yeah, so if you don't hear everything that we say today, know that it does come with really good instructions.
Yes, it does. Okay, so let's head back over to the Dream Big. And we're going to be looking at the Dream Big Slate today. And what I'm going to do, the first thing that we're doing whenever we're setting this up is you want to make sure that you're basting this down with your preferred basting method. I did a spray base to my backing and my batting, but you can also do a pin base, or you can do a basting on a long arm if that's what you prefer to do, but it's whatever your preferred method is.
Or the fusible batting?
Or fusible batting, yes, that's right. Yeah, or fusible batting. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out these sheets and unfold them. And like I said, they're all labeled. Now, the biggest thing to make sure whenever you're starting this out is that you're doing this in the proper sequence. Bless you. In the proper sequence. So you want to make sure that the writing on the selvage, let me see if I can pull this up for them. The selvage writing is at the bottom. Okay, that needs to be at the bottom where you can read it right side up. I am doing this upside down so y'all can get it from your view, but you would have this selvage writing at the bottom. Set that back over there. So I need to find my center panel. So this one is the top. That's the bottom. Here's the center one. So I'll move these out of the way for now. Move that top and the bottom out of the way. And I'm going to open up. Whoa, there we go. Maybe. Open up this tearaway sheet. And the writing for the sheet should be on your left hand side. Okay, it's going to be over here. And you're going to set up your placement and kind of align it with the dotted lines on the panel. And I know it's a little hard to see because you can't see right through it, but you can also look on the ends and you should be able to see those dotted lines matching up. Okay, so you're going to align it like that, and that's how you know, okay, so that's exactly where it needs to fit. It's always good to lay it down first to make sure that you have the right idea before you spray baste it on. So we're going to take some 505 temporary adhesive spray, and I'm going to flip this over, and you want to spray onto the paper. So I'm going to take my spray, I'm going to spray this down. That's one side. I'm going to go do the other side. Just like that. Flip it back over. And make sure I kind of get that realigned where everything needs to go. Sometimes I got to double check myself because I'm not seeing straight through it. There it goes. So I'll make sure I have all those dots aligned. And now with the pressing of the fabric, or depending on what batting you have also, the dotted lines might not match up 100%, okay? So keep that in mind, just match them up as close as you can. So I'm going to pull this out, make sure that adheres nicely to the fabric. And once that is done, I'm going to grab my next sheet, which is going to be the top panel, and it'll tell you here, so it says top panel, it says place second, and the bottom one it'll say place third. So I'll grab that top panel, and I'm going to scoot this back a little bit more so y'all can see it. And with this panel, and it'll tell you in the instructions that this is probably going to overlap these patterns up here by about 2 inches. Okay, so these two pieces of paper are going to overlap each other by about 2 inches, so keep that in mind. And you're just going to match up these lines with the lines that are already here from that center panel that you've already done. So I've got that matched up, so I'm going to flip it over, and I'll do the adhesive on that one as well. Flip that, grab the adhesive. Don't be afraid to use a lot of that so it sticks in place. So once again, get those matched up by about 2 inches. And I'll grab that side first so we keep it from locking on. There it goes. So I'll lock that one down. And place that all the way across. Smooth out all those edges. And then we'll come to the bottom. So while I'm moving that to the bottom, Brooke, do we have any questions so far on what we're doing? Okay. Okay. So a few questions. One of them was where you can purchase these patterns, and you can get them on our website at longarmsupplies.net. We have those 3 that I showed you in the beginning so far, and if you'd like to see more, just let us know. And then another question was, do we recommend pressing the paper first? You can. Once you spray it down, though, and push it on, you can basically move out a lot of those wrinkles. So I'm down here at the bottom now, and once I get that aligned the way I want it to, make sure that all these lines match up. And like I said, they're going to be about 2 inches of overlap. I'm going to flip this over.
And to make a kind of little statement there, like you were saying, probably don't have to press it because you're going to have to roll it up anyway to be able to put it underneath the machine.
Right, so you put it underneath the machine while you're doing
paper,
it. So yeah. All right, so we're going to do this bottom one, and doing this upside down is going to be fun, so we're going to see how this works. I think I can do it. Place it. And once it's down there, and you've got it where you need it to be, then you can smooth it on out, just like that. Okay. Now, at this point, once you get this all the way done, per the instructions, what you would do is stitch around with your domestic machine. You're going to stitch around the 4 corners. And what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and start stitching all of these dotted lines What that's going to allow us to do is lock in the placement of the panel. That way when you're shifting this around back and forth, you won't have this paper moving all over the place. This will lock it down. So you would stitch all of these dotted line petals first before you go in and stitch the actual design. Okay?
So would you start from this, or does it really matter after you lock down the lines?
Once you lock down the lines and you lock down all of these lines, that doesn't really matter which way you go from it. I like to go left to right, top to bottom, but that's just how we see things in the long arm world. So it's completely up to you.
Whatever's user friendly.
It's completely, yeah, it's all up to you. Okay? So I'm going to take this and we're going to head on over to the machine and see what we can do. So I'll come on over here. I'm going to take a seat, plop that down, and open this up. And put this right through here. It's interesting. It's a different take on stitching when you don't have it on your long arm. All right. Got that here. And I like to start in a point so I know exactly where I'm going and where I'm headed. And I have an open toe foot on for this. And I'm going to pull up this. And start going. Oh, I need to slow that down. It's definitely a different take. So we're going to stitch around these petaled lines as we're going. We'll get back here and make our way back to lock that down. Okay, almost back to our point here. Okay, once we get there, you would tie off. And once that tie off is done, then we can cut our threads. And then I'm going to move to the part of this petal, which is right here, and we're going to get started on it. Now, it doesn't have a defined start or stop point, but the best point, in my opinion, to start at is just find a point on the towards this inner piece of the petal. So either a point here, I'm going to use this point, and just follow this feather and make your way around.
And just to reiterate, you're going to do your borders all the way down the side first. We're cutting a few steps.
Yeah, we're cutting a few steps just to make sure you see everything, but you would be stitching this whole 4 sides first. And coming and doing these petals.
And doing all of the outline petals first.
Correct.
Then coming in to do what we're doing next.
Correct.
Okay.
So I'm going to bring that here. And what we're going to do is we will start from here. So I'll take that. Oh, this is interesting. And you just follow those dotted lines. And the lines are more of a recommendation, I would say. If you try to follow directly on them, sometimes you'll get a little too stiff, and then you end up kind of messing up what you really wanted to do.
And while you're doing that, we have a few questions.
Okay.
So what brand spray adhesive do you use?
Okay.
So it is the 505, and that is what they recommend. So that's what we have. We don't have it on our website, but you can kind of get 505 at any store.
Yeah, it's hard to ship adhesive sprays like that, so.
And then another question, has the tearaway patterns been quilted on the long arm by someone at Linda's? And yes, it has. So Leanne, we have done that before. We actually did a previous video on that. So you can do it on the long arm as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a completed design to show that's been quilted away with the tearaway patterns?
We don't have a completed one to show you that has been done with a full set of tearaway patterns.
Yeah, just pieces of it.
Just pieces of them, yeah. The one that I did freehand with the Minky, it looks kind of like it, so it has the idea, but not a full, complete set.
Yeah, we'll finish this up and then we'll put a picture up of it when it's done. Let's see. what color thread do you suggest? Really, it's just the color that you're going to use for your quilting, right?
Yeah, when it comes to the quilting, it's really a preference. Do you want to switch out the colors, or do you want to stick with one all over? For this slate, I'm actually just using one solid 3024 Omni, medium gray, I believe is what that one is. And it looks great all over the entire piece. So there's not a problem there with that.
Okay, so are you stitching down some more petals,
Yes.
the outlines?
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
So I am going to do that for this one right here, and I think maybe you should try to stitch this out.
Oh my goodness.
I think that one will be fun for you. So I'm going to come around here and come back. Okay, once I'm done with that, I will trim my threads. And let me roll that up for you there, okay? And so you can start right here.
So there's a little more work when you have a sit down, and some people will roll it up to keep, it's just whatever best suits you.
It's all personal preference.
Yeah, so we'll let you get out, and then I'll come over there.
Okay. Come on in.
Oh, you guys are going to get a good laugh because, yeah. Is there a way to...
Slow it down a little bit for you.
Do I have to hit the pedal?
Yes. Or do you not want to hit the pedal?
No.
Okay, well, let me unplug the pedal. Excuse me.
I need
Queen of England over here.
the easy
Your
way.
start button's up there.
Okay. Oh, I'm nervous.
You got this. You can do it. The outline's already done for you, so you just look and see what direction you want to follow those feathers in.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, I'm doing such a bad job.
You're doing great.
No, I'm not.
You might need to speed it up a little bit. I'll speed it up. You're doing great. There you go.
Oh my goodness. When you're used to a long arm, this is a little
It's
different.
a whole different ball game.
Okay, just to tell you guys, this is the first time I've done this.
If you can do it, anybody can do it.
So basically the idea is you just got to move this fabric faster than I was.
One of the questions was, and it was a good recommendation, would you recommend using gloves while quilting it? Because they have some of those quilting gloves for domestic sit-down machines.
Okay.
Well, I mean, you might not know, but they have those gloves that you put on that make it a little easier to adhere everything, and definitely I would recommend those for that. We just don't do a ton of it, so I don't have them for her currently. You're doing a great job. Look at you.
Okay, we'll cut that. We'll be done.
Okay. And then another question was, how easy is it to tear the paper off? It's actually quite easy. So we'll actually
You want to take
do
it
it for
over
this
there?
one. Yeah, we'll take it over there and do it for this one.
Okay.
Since we just stitched out two of them. But we really just wanted you to see. Let me move this camera a little bit closer so you can see Diana's great work.
Not too close. Not too close.
But using that just to follow it as a guide to have something to go along. But we will go up there and we will tear those away so you can see it. And then show you another tool that we have that makes it a little easier to take it away besides tweezers as well.
Okay.
Okay? So let's do that.
All right.
All right, so we're going to grab this and take it on up there. And Diana, while you're up there, would you mind going and grabbing one of the Aunt Pam's sponges?
Yes, I'll grab one.
Take that and bring it on over for us.
So it's a little harder to move when you haven't stitched it all out.
Yeah, when you haven't stitched it all out, it kind of goes everywhere again, but that's okay. We can adapt here.
So maybe just tear off this little part here.
Oh, you don't want to show yours? Okay. All right, so let me grab that, and then let me grab one of my sets of scissors just to start the process here. So we're going to do this one right here. So I'm just going to grab a place where I can go ahead and semi-puncture it. And then you just begin to tear it away. So once you get in there, you can tear it whichever direction you want. I'm trying to keep that one semi-stable.
Yeah, that way we can finish.
Right. So, but you just pull those in there. Let me get in here to this one.
Yeah, that gives you a
Pull
good...
that out. Go around the edge here with these scissors. If you have little fine point tip scissors like this, if you lightly glide over it, it'll tear it away from that stitch just to start it out. And then it gives you the ability to get underneath it really easily. So if you kind of just follow the track line of it to start it first, then it's easier to pull it right up. Just like so. And now it's sticking to me. Temporarily adhered to the fabric. So once I get those, that just allows me to get in there and get things away. If you have one of these sponges, sometimes the little pieces of paper stay underneath the stitching, and you can actually scrape that, and they'll pop right out where you can grab them. And that's an Aunt Pam sponge.
Yeah, and we sell them on our website too. So
It's just a lot easier to get that up and going. So I'm just going to finish out the rest of mine here real quick. Brooke, do we have any other questions while I'm doing this? So we had a question, do we recommend a Supreme slider
like just probably
underneath
one of
the
those
machine bed?
sliders.
It's one of the sliders. I've seen them before.
Yeah.
Yes, it's always nice to have those as well. Anything that makes it easier for you. It's all user preference, really.
Yeah.
Whatever makes it easier for you, but definitely giving you the ability to easily move stuff always helps. But you just grab that sponge and that paper comes right to the surface for you too.
Yeah, I think that's good. I'll get a little
like
close up so they can see the stitching, and then.
I think I should have done yours so they could see that.
No.
That's great feathers if you ask me. I might put that in the Houston show.
Oh, he's a joker today.
I am.
Yeah, that turned out good. So
Yeah,
they actually can see the
Really cool.
stitching.
And then I guess we can see the back.
Oh yeah, there you go.
There's the back of it.
Oh wait, you can't. You bring
Oh,
it closer here.
Sorry. Closer. Closer, closer, closer.
There you go.
So it's not perfect by any means, but it gives you something to really practice and be able to complete those dream bigs
Well, that
on
was
your
the-
domestic machine. And that
On
was my
there.
first time doing it in a while.
Yeah, with the
On a
well,
sit-down
with the
machine.
tearaway.
Yeah, with the tearaway
That's
too.
our first time
Yeah,
with the tearaway, so
Yeah.
that makes a little bit of a difference because you're holding it. It feels different
right.
when you're
But
holding
it's still super easy to line everything up and be able to follow it.
it. Oh yeah.
And then, of course, if we would have followed the directions to a T where we based it around the whole entire edge, it would have stayed a lot more secure. But we wanted to make sure that you all got to see the kind of the entire process just to get it the way you need it to be.
Well, and it just lets you know that, okay, I'm going to move the camera back just a tad.
Okay.
That if you have a domestic machine, you definitely can still do,
You can still do all the same things
yeah.
that we're doing. Is it short? Do I need to
Yeah,
stop
scoot
doing-
down for just a second.
Hi.
It's going to vibrate. Oh, I'm not prepared for that.
Oh, goodness. All right. Y'all
There we go.
put your motion sickness glasses on real quick. So, like we said, these are the tearaway patterns for the Dream Bigs. There are 3 different ones that we carry on our website, www.longarmsupplies.net. And on the inside, as you saw, there are 3 different sheets that come in the package. And I think that's all I've got.
Yeah, and we do have while you're there looking at these tearaways, all the other tearaways you can also use for
Yes.
your domestic machines. So we have
Yes.
quite a few tearaway patterns on there.
Yeah.
Say like pantographs, if you want to do a block, so definitely that's the same theory that we did here. You could
Right.
use for those as well.
Yeah, so you kind of get the same idea that you can see it on your domestic machine as well. And one more point that I did forget to mention is that we did wool batting
Oh
in
yes.
this one to give it a little bit of a loft. So instead of doing 2 layers, we just went ahead and just did a straight wool,
Mhm.
which gives it a little bit of loft, and it went through the machine just fine.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I sure did.
'Kay.
Cool.
Brooke, do we have any other questions before we go? No? Oh, okay. Someone had a recommendation that they make a silicone spray that's a little fabric friendly as opposed to a Supreme slider. So it's whatever. It's up to you. It's completely user preference.
Whatever preference.
That's why we love it.
Yep.
Alrighty.
'Kay.
So,
Well,
what's
let's
the
get-
best part of our videos?
When we give stuff away.
The giveaways, of course.
So what are we going to give away?
We are going to give away 2 different Magnifico threads
And
today.
we picked these colors because they match this actual
This
Dream
matches
Big.
the slate Dream Big.
The slate Dream Big.
Yeah, this is a really pretty. I don't know. This is gorgeous.
It is
It's
really pretty. Yeah.
So we've got 2151 and 2163.
So we'll give one away now,
Mm-hmm.
and then the other one is 72 hours.
Yes.
So if you're not live and you don't get to win this time, don't forget you still get to comment in there once the
Yes.
video posts live, and have a chance to win.
Yes, you do. And
Yep.
please make sure you go back and check.
Yes.
I still have unclaimed prizes. Alrighty. So the question for today is, how many sheets come in the package for the Dream Big tearaway? So how many of the sheets come in for the Dream Big tearaway? And that's going to go to, the thread's going to go to answer number 6.
Okay, I'm going to go over to Brooke while
Okay.
you can talk a little bit more.
Okay. So while they're going through the feed to figure out who got this answer correct for the thread, we had a question about the quilt sponge and where you can purchase it. You can get it here at Linda's Electric Quilters. So www.longarmsupplies.net, and it's called Aunt Pam's Quilt Sponge. Doo-doo. It's right there. And so while y'all are over there doing that, I'm gonna pick away at this. Or did you already
we
get an
already
answer?
have a winner. Yeah.
Oh boy! All right.
Yeah. So our winner is Marcia Freeman.
Okay.
So
Congratulations, Marcia.
Yeah. So what we need you to do now is give us a call at 972-542-4000 to claim your prize,
Whoop, whoop.
and we'll get. Oh, Marcia. Okay, I've had some. Sorry if I pronounced it wrong. So anyway, so
It's
yeah,
like grade school all over again.
I know, right? You just never know. But
yeah,
yes.
definitely make sure you give us a call. We cannot reach out to you due to YouTube's privacy settings.
Yeah.
But give us a call so you can make sure you can claim your prize. And we will see y'all next week when we show you a new product to us that helps you constantly and consistently keep the right tension in your bobbin.
Yep.
So
sounds
we'll see you
good.
next week.
All right,
Bye.
bye.